called it. Yesterday morning, when we did Killing the Game on the Football Terrace. Now, if you only watch Terry Flewis TV, this channel, thank you. But that QR code takes you through to the Football Terrace, my main channel. We've collabed with them on this video. So go and subscribe. But yesterday morning, we did a video. And we called out the duplicity and the kind of backwards nature of criticizing set pieces, long throws. And I recorded that at about 9 a.m. in the morning. 9 a.m. on the 21st of October, 2025, just for information. And I said on that video that it will not be long. Jamie Carragher, Sky Sports, pushed out this narrative of ugly, embarrassing set-piece football, started talking about the PGMOL and how they've made it easier for teams like Arsenal to score from set pieces. And I knew an agenda was about to begin. I knew an agenda to call what Arsenal do from set pieces embarrassing, to play them down, to almost diminish them. And although you'll see praise, you'll see they might win the league or they might win the Champions League or this was good football, there is always going to be this backhanded compliment connected. And I don't like this from the mainstream media. Now, please like, share, subscribe, hype up the video, please, people. Get that all done. And I thank you so much for the support you show me every single day. It's beyond humbling. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Now, I worked with Mark Goldbridge this morning, and Mark said something that I thought was a really good, not challenge to my stance on this, but the view is he doesn't like long throws. He doesn't like teams that overly rely on set pieces. He doesn't like the directness that football in the Premier League has gone to. Not his favourite way. He said he's very biased. And if Man United play and score and win that way, he'll celebrate because he wants his team to win. But overall, doesn't enjoy that football. Now, I think that's a very fair stance to take. I personally do. However, I smell a rat when it comes to Jamie Carragher, Sky Sports, Jamie O'Hara. Now, Jamie O'Hara does start, I'm going to play you a clip in a second, by having a go at Tottenham. He does start by doing that. But then straight away it goes into an Arsenal situation. And I think if Arsenal weren't good at set pieces, if Arsenal weren't benefiting from being fantastic at them in the Premier League, I don't think he'd be out here saying this. But let's take a little listen to what Jamie O'Hara had to say yesterday.
It's like watching non-league at the minute, some of the football I'm watching. You know, Spurs at the weekend, territory football, you know, head it out, Danso comes up, gets the towel, starts throwing. It's so one-dimensional. And Carragher's right, like, I get it.
The thing is, it isn't one-dimensional. It's a string to the bow. Spurs weren't just knocking the ball into the channels, hoping for throws so they can bomb the ball into the box. All that Premier League teams are now doing is saying, look, we're going to play intricate football, we're going to be playing attacking football, we're going to try and play nice football. But if the ball goes out in these set areas, let's do some long throws into the box. Let's work on set pieces so when we have a chance from a set piece, we become more deadly. I don't get the issue.
Some of the lesser teams like Brentford, you got a long throw in it, you can cause problems, you can maybe create a chance. But the top teams doing long throw-ins.
First of all, Spurs aren't the top team.
I can't believe what I'm watching. It's all down to Arsenal.
That's the crux of this. It's all down to Arsenal. Arsenal are top. Arsenal are not conceding goals. This was before the Champions League game, but they're smashing it in the Champions League. By the way, only 2 of the 8 goals scored in the Champions League, by the way, have been from set pieces. Everybody's ignoring that. But this is the crux of it. How do we start to damage what could be, only could be, a title-winning season for Arsenal?
Arsenal started this. Arsenal started the long throw, the set pieces. You know, they've killed the Premier League in terms of, you know, fluid football.
Killed the Premier League in terms of fluid football. That means you're ignoring how they played against Newcastle. Fantastic. You're ignoring, again, if you're listening to this clip today, the way they cut through Ati. When they played against Fulham, they weren't just going route one. And by the way, I've got no issue with teams that go route one to win football matches. I don't have a problem with it. But Arsenal were playing out from the back. They were dominating the ball. And it was the Fulhams of this world. And it's been the Man Cities when they went to the Emirates. It was these guys that have been sitting back behind the ball, stopping the fluid football from creating the goal-scoring chances. I don't understand how Arsenal are being blamed for this. Somebody please make that make sense to me.
and enjoyable football.
But Arsenal still play good football.
No, they don't.
They've just tried something different, which is working.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I will say this. I know the presenter has said, I know they're both working for Sky right now. I think the Sky producers are in the ear of the Carraghers, of the O'Haras to push this narrative. The one saving grace is that at least their presenters are pushing back against it.
And now everyone's run with it. And Arsenal are the best at it. Right? You can't get away from it. Set pieces, throw-ins, Arsenal are the best. But everyone's copying what they're doing.
So that's just it. It's because Arsenal are good at it. That is why he's angry. And the same situation with Jamie Carragher. Now, Jamie Carragher attacked what Arsenal were doing loads yesterday, but was very clever with it. And a lot of people haven't even noticed it yet. Let's have a pop at it in general. Let's have a go at the PGMOL for giving penalties for dragging players to the ground, which now makes it easier for the likes of Arsenal to score. Let's find a way of attacking Arsenal without going for them just yet. And it's, by the way, we're at the fledgling stage, we're at the seedling stage. Just so when this happens, you have this information. This is what I mean by the duplicity. Because there are countless bits of content out there from Jamie Carragher of him praising other teams' brilliant set pieces, ironically, against Arsenal. This from just bang on 12 months ago, about the brilliance of a set piece and the coaching and the execution being perfect. But now we're getting to a stage where these perfectly formed executed set pieces are now being attacked. We also saw, again, I called this out yesterday morning after Monday Night Football, you were going to see an onslaught and an attack now. Jamie O'Hara on the biggest sports network in the world. And then he repeated it on TalkSport, saying it's killing the game. Carragher calling these things embarrassing. Then you get articles along this line as well. So this came out yesterday from ESPN saying, our set plays ruining the Premier League. How throw-ins are boosting Arsenal, but aiding boredom. Nerds have been extolling the virtues of dead balls for a long time. I mean, it's kind of, this was maybe one of the weirdest and craziest takes to me, because how they're blaming Arsenal for it, as if Arsenal's only attempt to score goals is through long balls. But then again, there's a bitterness in this. Because when you look at the article and you click on the article, it takes you through, and it's written by this gentleman called Ryan, and how set pieces are ruining the game. How they're ruining the game, ruining the Premier League is the narrative that's being created, how it's ruining the Premier League and everything else. And you think, okay, well, it's an article. But that's Carragher, then you've got O'Hara, you've got TalkSport. You've already got rival fans crying about it, which we understand to a certain degree as football fans, that rivals are going to go at each other. Then you get this article from ESPN. But then when you look into this article from ESPN and do a little bit more digging, you find that the journalist behind it is a Liverpool fan. And this is where I'm calling this out a little bit. I understand fans on fan channels showing their disdain. I'm going to show you a clip of it in a minute. Showing you their disdain towards Arsenal. Spurs fans hating that Arsenal were good. Liverpool fans who thought they were going to beat Arsenal to the league title. By the way, the league title race is still well and truly on. Nobody has won the league yet. But I get why Liverpool fans are bitter towards it. It makes sense. But when you're a professional TV pundit, when you're a professional ex-pro meant to be educating people on the game, you can't have that level of duplicity. You can't allow the bias for your club doing badly to seep in this way. And Carragher himself has said this on camera prior, but about 10 months ago, that he puts his head in his hands when Arsenal get set pieces because he knows they're going to score. Now what he's trying to do is diminish them. But when you get professional journalists who are fans of clubs, they have to, for me, if they're really putting out genuine pieces of content, they have to drop their bias. And for me, I feel like it's shrouded in it. Arsenal Football Club are not ruining the Premier League. Arsenal Football Club are not killing the game. If you want to make an argument to what's slowing the game down, it's so many teams sitting behind the ball. But football's going through a direct phase. And teams got obsessed with high possession, tiki-taka football. And the counter to this is to be big, solid, and pacey. Sit deep and counter and play direct football. And that's starting to work. The reason why the Bournemouths and the Brentfords and these sides have been so lauded is solid and hard to break down. Nottingham Forest last year got lots of praise for it. Quick on the counter-attack. You can't play that way and stop teams of the level of Arsenal, the levels of Liverpool, City at their pomp. You can't stop them playing and play that way at the same... And you can't not play that way and stop those teams. If you're open, if you're slightly expansive, you're going to be killed. And we're not having this conversation. That, for me, is what's killing the game, is teams have to find ways to win. And I get why nobody opens up against Arsenal, because you'll get battered. But blaming Arsenal for other teams being negative, it's a madness to me. All Arsenal have done with their set pieces is they have created an extra gun in their arsenal, excuse the pun. There's an extra string to their bow. Another way they can create and score goals. And I'm not even sure if they've scored from a long throw yet. I'm not. Man United have. That's why, I mean, I'm not going to bemoan it. Score all our goals from long throws for all I care. But you have to adapt. All I've seen is Ruben Amorim get criticism for not adapting. All I saw for years was Wenger get slagged off for not adapting. Even Pep, with everything he's won, would be slapped. No plan B, no plan B. What's the other options? How else are you going to score? What are you going to do if you can't create? What are you going to do if this player's out? Mikel Arteta has created a team that can play brilliant football, is hard to beat and break down itself, is amazing at set pieces, even has its own plan B from the bench in Marino, who can come on and kind of be that target man when needed. And yet, it's just met with a series of criticism. And this is all massively duplicitous. At the end of the day, Carragher is scared. O'Hara is scared. I get why Liverpool fans are having meltdowns right now. But having a pop at Arsenal, blaming Arsenal for all of this, I think is so far below the belt, it's unbelievable. Let's take a little listen here to Hassan. This was him on his watch along last night. But this is what I expect from fans, by the way. But let's take a listen.
Anyway, free kick in a dangerous position, and they score the set piece. Now watch this, yeah? The whole chat now. Set piece again, ole ole, like they're celebrating. They know deep down this ain't sustainable. But خلاص.
Well, it is sustainable. They've been doing it for a good couple of years now. Their set piece goals comes in as almost like an extra player. Their set piece goals as a tally, it's slightly above the average of 1/3 of goals, but it's almost another player scoring 15 to 20 goals a season for the past 2.5 years. I don't get what's unsustainable. Where it could become a problem is if they can't break down the low blocks, but that doesn't mean they should stop working on being good at set pieces.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? I got another set piece goal, I swear. Cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. Another set piece goal, bro. Ma khalas, this is who they are. We have to acknowledge it. This is who they are. We have to acknowledge it.
And the thing is, Arsenal fans are just taking the words back. They got mocked for being set piece FC. Go with it. Man United sing a song. I don't remember. I was told, I was very young when this happened, but when United started to become good under Fergie, rival fans would sing "Who the fuck are Man United?" when we were bad. And when we became good, we kind of took the song back and we sing it ourselves. And if I've slightly butchered that, the older heads, let me know. But that was always what Baz told me. Baz was, he was 70-odd when I met him in my early 20s. He'd been going to United since before I can remember. He'd been going to the United since, I think, the late 40s, early 50s. And he used to talk regularly about that. All Arsenal fans have done is taken back the digs and made it something they celebrate as a bit of fun. And I think they should do more of it. But I'll reiterate and end with what I've been talking about for months with Arsenal set pieces. The more Carragher lies about them, the more O'Hara cries about them, the more rivals that moan about them, the more set pieces Arsenal will score. And the reason being is you create a thing. You create a nervousness, you create a thing. Time added on used to happen for Man United, and you, especially at Old Trafford, our crowd level lifted, our players got a new lease of energy, and rivals seem to get tireder. That's probably not even a word. More tired. More lethargic. The lactic acid would seem magically build up. And it's a psychological thing. Psychology in football is so important. And what rival fans don't realise, in their bitterness, they're making Arsenal more dangerous. And that, for me, is just someone... I believe in the mentality and the psychology of sports so much. It's brilliant to watch this happen in real time. Because every time they get a corner, they think they're going to score, and rivals think they're going to concede. And the players are now feeling it. If you really want to hurt Arsenal set pieces, stop moaning about them. Until next time, people, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon.